What's going on, guys? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all a guide on how to improve your aim on PC for Apex Legends. So for those of you who don't know me, I have been an MMORPG player for a very, very long time. I have not played a shooter game besides Apex in probably a good 7 years. It has been a long time, probably since, like I said, since like high school. I've been an MMORPG player for a very long time, so I do not have an FPS background. And when I recently came to Apex Legends, one of the biggest things that I knew I needed to work on very quickly was my aiming skills. And it's something I am still working to improve every single day. And everything I'm about to show you in this video is something that I do every single day. So my goal is to show you guys how to improve your aim with a couple of basic drills and altering your sensitivity. These are the things that I tried to do, and they've been a massive help. And you only have to do it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes before you start your Apex session for the day. It will really help you warm up. So the first thing that we have to talk about, of course, is sensitivity. It's something that everyone's going to ask and wonder about. The first thing that I do want to mention is you want to go into your Windows settings and turn off mouse acceleration. You don't want that on. You want your mouse to move at a constant speed. Besides that, a lot of it is going to come down to preference in your individual, where you feel your DPI and your sensitivity need to be individually. Now, I personally recommend running a lower DPI on your mouse, either 400 or 800. I personally run 800 DPI. And the reason you want to run a lower DPI is because it makes it so that you need to have a more exaggerated movement on your mouse for you to actually move your reticle off your target. It makes it easier for you to aim at your target and track them when your mouse movement, your mouse requires more movement because the DPI is lower. Also, having a lower DPI will force you to use your arm a little bit more than your wrist, because the first couple of weeks I played Apex, I played at a higher sensitivity and was doing wrist aiming, and I quickly started to get a ton of wrist pain. So I immediately started to lower my DPI, and it made a huge difference on that. So I definitely recommend playing at 400 or 800 DPI. 400 is, for me, it's pretty low. It's too low for me. So I play at 800, especially because, like I said, I have an MMO background and I'm used to using higher sensitivity. 800 still took some time, but it was easier for me to adjust to. Now, past that, your mouse sensitivity is something that you're going to need to adjust over time. You're not going to want to play on the default to 5. That is wildly high, really high. I think most people will probably end up, as they practice and practice, will end up probably at about like 2.5 or less. I've seen people go with 800 DPI. I've seen people play as low as 0.8 cents, which is wild to me. But I feel like most people will probably fall at least under 2.5. I don't see much people playing over 2.5. But how you kind of determine the best sensitivity for you is going to be done through the following drills that I'm talking about. Now, you need to pay attention when you do these drills, right? If you find yourself overshooting your targets, if you find your reticle leading your target when we do the tracking drills, and you're always ahead, your sensitivity is too high and you need to lower it. If you're always shooting short, if you're always behind it and you feel like you're struggling to keep up with your movements, your sensitivity is too low and you need to raise it up. So as you can see, I'm playing at 2.0 cents, 800 DPI, like I mentioned, and I keep my ADS mouse sensitivity at 1. I want my ADS to be the same sensitivity as other things. I just keep it at 1. If you would like, you can also do different per optic ADS sensitivity to maybe make your snipers have a much lower ADS sense, but I like to have everything the same, but I'll leave some of that stuff up to you. But that's kind of like how to determine your sensitivities and what you want to do. So besides, and also definitely make sure you have mouse acceleration also off in game. You don't want that on anywhere. So besides that, we also are going to have a couple of different aim drills that I think will help you guys improve your aim a lot. So basically what I like to do when I do my aim drills is I grab 2 guns. I usually will grab a PK or another different shotgun with a purple bolt and a reticle, even though I really don't use this that much. I just use the purple bolt for the rate of fire increase. And then you want to grab the gun of your choice that you want to practice with a purple mag and a sight of your choice. I don't want to use anything that's going to make the gun easier to control, because a lot of these drills have to do with controlling your gun, and a lot of times off the drop, you're not going to, stumble upon a gold barrel stabilizer, So I like to practice with the gun raw, but I just like to have the purple clip on it and the sight just to make it easier to aim and for more bullets. So the first drill we're going to obviously go over is a flick drill. And I do two different flick drills. I do a medium range flick drill and then a close range one with my shotguns. So the first thing that you're going to want to do for your mid range is you're going to want to aim directly above these little target guys. Aim directly above, and then you're going to do your flick shots. So you're going to go to the right, shoot, to the right, shoot, to the right, shoot, and then to the left, shoot, to the left, shoot, to the left, shoot, all while ADSing. And you basically want to start slow and just hit each target. And then slowly, as you can see, I just fucked up. And then you want to slowly increase your speed over time. Don't increase your speed too much. If you start missing shots, slow it down. You're better to go off for accuracy first and then go for speed later. This basically helps you a lot with guns that will usually use like single shots. So like the Wingman and other guns for mid-range that will have single shots. The flick shots will help you with that. Now, the other thing I like to do, and I actually just started doing this recently after watching some of my stream footage back and noticing that I was missing a bunch of my PK flicks. Doing flicks with the shotgun from really close range, I have found to be incredibly useful. So I kind of, you stand as close as you feel comfortable. You don't want to stand so far back like this, but, normal shotgun range. And then you just do flick drills with your shotgun. And so basically you start at the middle, go to your target. And now basically what I do is I do 2 full rotations on each side since the PK holds 6 bullets. So I do 2 to the right, 2 full rotations to the right, and then 2 full rotations to the left. Gotta love missing your shots in a guide, right? So that's how I do the flick drills for that. And those 2 drills I do for a couple minutes every day when I first get started. Now, besides that, I also like to do tracking. So I'll stand at various points, kind of in the firing range here, and I'll pick one of these moving targets, and I'll just track it. So I'll just basically sit here, ADS, not really shoot, that was a misclick, and just track. Just track it. Just keep my reticle on it. And like I said, I'll do this for like, a good minute or 2, and just track it and keep my target on it. This is really, really helpful because when you're using an assault rifle in the game, it's really easy to, you need to be able to track the person while you're shooting. And practicing this drill is really important. I actually noticed that on days I don't do this drill, my tracking tends to be much, much worse. So I really try to do that a little bit before, at the beginning of every play session, just to make sure that my tracking is on point. And you can do that from various spots in the map. You can aim at the various targets around, because it'll give you different amounts of movement that you require from your arm and wrist when you're actually tracking them. The ones that are closer obviously require more exaggerated movements, while the ones that are further require less. So besides the tracking drill, I'll also kind of do random target shots. So I'll basically, again, stand at a certain point on the map and then just pick out random targets in my mind and just take shots at them. Just to practice my quick target acquisition and shooting, Just so I can practice shooting and kind of, this again, also kind of incorporate some of the flick stuff that I mentioned earlier. You're trying to kind of flick your wrist to a target. Also practice with the bullet drop a bit as you shoot at further targets. So random target acquisition for different spots of the map, again, will help you kind of acquire those targets in quick gunfights much easier when you're actually inside of a game. Now, another thing that I actually just started doing recently, and I kind of just made this up after I was getting into this situation a lot when I was playing in games, is I try to do slide shooting drills. So I kind of orient myself like this with the target dummies on my left, and I run, slide, and shoot. As you can see, I missed that one. So this is practice. For me, this is really good practice for when you're getting into a close range gunfight with the PK or something, and you need to shoot your target as you kind of you slide into it. Maybe somebody surprises you from around the corner or whatever, and you can just slide and aim into them. Especially because in a real game, you're not going to be standing still just shooting at a guy. You're going to be moving around. You're going to be incorporating movement so that it's harder for them to hit you. So for me, I've been having good use out of this, just kind of doing a little bit of a slide jump, maybe even just a slide into a PK shot. And to me, it's been very useful for kind of helping me land those shots outside of my, inside of my movement text. Now, the last thing that we have is one of the most important tips. I actually think that this is arguably one of the most important ones for Apex Legends, and that is recoil control. Recoil control is something that when I actually pay attention to it, I do so much better. And on the games where I'm tunneling and I am not paying as much attention to it, my aim feels significantly worse. Now, the guns in Apex, they have predictive recoil. It's not like Call of Duty with random recoil. So you can basically control the recoil of your guns. Now, the general rule of thumb that I've noticed from playing Apex is that heavy guns, for example, and you can see, right? So with no recoil control, you can see pretty all over the place, right? I started here and ended up shooting the top of that target. Now, with recoil control, you keep everything on target. All right. Now, the general rule of thumb that I've noticed for guns in Apex is that heavy guns, as you saw, tend to go up and to the left. So you're going to want to shoot and pull your mouse down and to the right ever so slightly. With a light gun, let me just drop all the shotgun ammo. The light gun, they tend to go up and to the right. R301 probably wasn't the best example because it doesn't have the highest recoil. So you're going to want to just pull down and to the left ever so slightly. Also, this is when the purple extended mag, when you're doing practice like this, helps. Because as you can see, the regular mag runs out incredibly quickly. Okay, so with purple mag, we go down to the left. And it keeps us on our target the whole time. Without that, as you can see, we end up shooting pretty damn high. Now, finally, I believe energy weapons, from what I've been able to tell, have straight up recoil. Something like the Havoc here. Let me put a purple mag on this. You'll notice the gun just goes straight up. Very high, as you can see. Very, very high. So if you just hold your mouse, pull your mouse down while you shoot, turns it into a laser with almost no recoil. You see the difference? Huge. This versus this. Very, very big difference. So I would recommend going around the firing range, picking your favorite guns or guns that you see yourself using often inside of a game of Apex and practicing your recoil. This is something I am still working on a lot myself because, like I said, a lot of times when I'm in a game, I'll get a little bit of tunnel vision and I'll just be like, oh, I got to shoot this guy. And I don't think about that recoil control. You need to continue to practice this. And I'm working on this myself until it becomes absolutely second nature. I actually think that covers most things I wanted to go over today. Those are the aim drills that I use, guys, for when I am warming up for a day, and just like I said, what I kind of used to train. I mean, as you can see, I still missed a bunch of shots. I'm going to keep them in the guide, obviously, but I still missed a bunch of shots during my training, and it just shows that I still have some things that I need to work on myself. And like I said, for me, coming from not an FPS background at all, I have found these drills to be very, very helpful in improving my aim, and I work on them very, very hard every day to make sure that my aim can get as good as it can, as fast as it can, because being able to win your gunfights and win those trades because of proper aim is going to net you more kills and ultimately let you climb higher in the rankings. So guys, let me know what you thought of this video in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys find these tips helpful and that you did learn something from this video today. And if you did, please slap a like on it. And to keep up with more great Apex content on this channel, please hit that sub button as well as hit the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. As always, I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next video.